Your number's on here? Alright. Okay. Alright guys, so take a look at all these bikes. These are all the Harley Davidsons on demo day. Lots and lots of bikes. I'm going to try to go through and ride every single one. This is my third bike of the day. I'm going to ride the Street Bob. 2023 Street Bob. Take a look at that. Beautiful. It's almost like a kind of a chopper kind of a style. This is kind of like my style of bike right here. This is kind of what I prefer. Simple, nothing really crazy. See if I can put up the back foot peg there. Wow. Oh yeah, very simple. Yeah, look at how tall the handlebars are. I almost have to loosen up my sleeves here a little bit to get up to grip this thing. Wow. Pretty nice, pretty nice. The seat's a little more firm than I remember. Alright, I think it's a neutral. Look at that beautiful red color. Super screaming red. Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to turn this thing on here. Alright, so this is the 114 last year. I think the only difference between the Street Bob in 2023 versus 2022 is last year they had the 107 on a lot of models. I think they got rid of a lot of the 107s. They're going all to the 114s. As a matter of fact, I've ridden a few with 121s. So they keep getting faster and faster. Oh, yeah. I love me a Street Bob. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm like sitting way down in it. Way down in it. I feel like I'm too big for this bike, actually. Like my knees come way up. Like I definitely need like forward controls on this thing. That's what I need. Wow. Oh yeah, no modes on this thing. Just straight raw bike right here. There's no modes. No, there's not going to be any buffeting. No buffeting. No choppy wind. It's so liberating after being on some of those that are like really bad as far as the wind, to get on something like this. It's just so nice without a windshield. Alright, so I'm going to close my visor. The guy there said if I get rained on, I'm supposed to stop and call him. He doesn't want us riding in the rain. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Wow. This is so much faster. So much faster. This 114 with this, this minimalist bike, it feels faster than the 121 baggers. It's amazing. Wow. Oh. Wow. I love this bike. The only thing I don't like is the seat. The seat's kind of uncomfortable. And the position of my feet. I feel like I am super crunched. I am 6'4". This thing is like my knees are like way up, way up. I definitely need like forward controls. I'd put a pleasure seat on this. Oh, but it's nice. I love these simple bikes. I am in 6th gear, going 53, 55. Pretty nice. It's not obnoxiously loud. It's got a little bit of a rumble to it. Wow, look at that. The price is like 17. One of the cheapest bikes. So this year I actually bought a 2023 Fat Boy, and it's so hard making the decision between the different bikes because there's so many of them that are like really cool. I'd say this is up on my list as far as, you know, one as far as a reasonable budget without spending like $50,000. So if you want a new bike, it seems like it's really stable on the road. It's got a nice sound. This thing flies. It flies. I'd say this is probably as fast as my Fat Boy. My Fat Boy's like a little rocket. I'd say this is up there with the Fat Boy. It's like just a rocket. It's really amazing. If you look at the horsepower on bikes, it's really not the horsepower or even the engine size. It's the power to weight ratio of how much the bike weighs compared to how much power it has. So it's kind of deceiving. You get on some bikes that you wouldn't think they would be that fast, and they're like super fast. And then you get on like a big bagger with yeah, this is like a rocket. This is like my Fat Boy. This is just like whew, flying. Yeah, it almost takes your breath away. It's like on the verge of taking your breath away. It's so fast. It's pretty amazing. I would say this is probably the fastest bike that I've been on all day. It's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Got your standard Harley Davidson mirrors. I am dying for some forward controls. Whew. This thing is pretty bad for a tall guy with these mid controls. Slow speed stability, not too bad. Clutch, pretty forgiving. Long clutch, very long, very forgiving. I don't think you could stall this. Super fast. It's got just enough rumble too, where it sounds good. Oh yeah, awesome. This bike is really awesome. You know, kind of one of the weirdest things that I've noticed during these test drives is when I'm riding my Fat Boy, I have earbuds in that play my music, but they're also like a noise canceling foam that fit into my ears that cut out all the wind noise. So I'm actually getting wind noise that I don't normally hear because I have these really nice earbuds in, which is kind of interesting. Seems like it turns really good. One hand wave pretty good around the corner. I have to like lean forward into it a little bit. Lean into the wind. I don't know what's up with this seat though. It's like a little lip right on my tailbone. I didn't remember that from last year. I don't know if they changed the seat. And a lot of times, you know, the problem with the seat is that the problem with the seat is because I'm so big and my legs are so far up that it puts all my tailbone right into the seat. So I guess it's not really fair to complain about the seat, because if I was short, it'd probably be a really comfortable seat. Or if I was shorter than 6'4". Which kind of interesting though in this one is I was just on that new Road Glide, the new Road Glide for 2023. It's a CVO Road Glide, and that seemed way more flickable than even this, which is surprising. This seems a little bit sluggish in the not as quick turning as that Road Glide, which is amazing because that Road Glide was so huge. Wow, I just saw that a deer metal sign. I thought it was a real deer. I was like worried about the deer jumping in front of me. That's one thing you don't want, is a deer jumping into you in these mountain roads. So. But yeah, this is a nice bike. If I was a little bit shorter, I think I could buy this bike and do some modifications to where it would fit me good. I'd probably put like crash bars with highway pegs, And I put a different seat, like a more of a cruising seat on it. I like that the handlebars are like way up. It's pretty nice. I like the simple controls. That last bike I got on, that was the new CVO Road Glide for it's like a 2023.5. It was a crazy bike, and there's like so many controls on the handlebars that it was like hard to figure out which button to push. All right, let's see how it does in the corners. Pretty nice. Not top heavy. I'm just not used to it. You could turn it on a dime with this thing. Brakes. Brakes are not that good. I'd say standard Harley Davidson brakes, which is average, I'd say. Wow. Wow. It almost felt like I could pick up the front end on that. That has some serious power. I can't believe it's only 114. It almost feels like there's something else going on with this bike to give it more power. It's pretty wild. So on my Fat Boy, I really changed the seat and the pegs and the whole stance and everything, and I made it to where it was almost like this, where it felt like it was too small, and then with all my modifications, it kind of changed it to where it was very, very comfortable and fit me very well. So, of course, it cost me, I don't know, $800,000 to go through and do all the modifications. But a lot of Harley Davidsons are like that, where it's just like, you know, one of the things that I kind of point out on Harley Davidsons is if you look at the grips are like the cheapest grips you would ever see on a bike. It's like they are meant to be replaced. So they don't want to put good grips because they know everyone's going to replace the grips on the handlebars. So it's kind of like they do that with the whole bike on a lot of them. It seems like on this one though, it seems like maybe the suspension has been upgraded. Because maybe it's just because it's a smoother road. I do feel some road noise. Just kind of a little bumps in the road. I can definitely feel it coming up through the seat and through the handlebars. Not bad, not bad. It's definitely light years ahead of the old Sportsters that they don't make anymore, like the Irons. So seems like it's easier to go around corners than that Road Glide was. That Road Glide seemed a little bit harder to go around the corners. This thing, this thing is fast. It's pretty awesome. Oh, you can really get into this. This is a really fun bike. I'd say the fun factor on this one's probably up there higher than the other bikes that I rode today. I don't know, my Fat Boy, that's got a really high fun factor too, just because it's a small and super fast bike. It's, I don't know, this one almost seems like it might be a little faster than the Fat Boy. It's funny because I have a 07 Dyna, and you get on that Dyna with a 96 engine, and that thing is, it's super slow compared to the new engines. It's amazing. This one, wow. Like right on the verge of picking up that front tire, right on the verge. Yeah, if you went to a 121, I think that's why, with the 121 they have modes on it, because I think with the 121 you could definitely pick up the front tire on this thing. And then it's kind of hard because you never, you know, if you get a bike where you're picking up the front tire all the time, then it's like you're always afraid to give it all the gas, because you know, you pick up the front tire and you kind of lose control a little bit. So that's why I think the funnest bikes are like this one, where it's right on the verge of picking up that front tire, because you can give it full throttle and still not really worry about it. course, if you're in like gravel or well, like a dirt road or something, you got to really be careful with these more powerful engines, because it's, I mean, just a little twist of the throttle and you're like burning out. That's like with my Fat Boy, I have to be really careful on the dirt roads. But yeah, this is fun. This is super fun. Really fun bike. It's a beautiful day today, like 75 degrees. Overcast, so you're not getting burned by the sun. It's been like in the hundreds lately. So we got pretty lucky. As long as the rain holds back. This is really fun for demo rides on this curvy mountain road. It's pretty awesome. Well, we're getting a lot of wind through here, so it's like right now we're facing the wind. So well, I don't know. I was looking at the trees. It doesn't look like there's that much wind, which is interesting. I think it's just because I don't have my earbuds in and it sounds like a lot of wind. But sometimes, especially on those baggers, when you get the crosswinds, sometimes you can get a lot of noise from the fairing, like wind noise. They can really be loud. Everyone's waving today. Pretty fun bike, pretty fun. This is like a, I don't know if I'd want to go like, you know, 75 for a long distance on this bike, but you know, if you're doing, you know, 55, 60, 65, you know, max, it's a fun little in-town bike. I'm sure you could go faster. It's geared to where you could really go fast, but it's more of a fun bike, just a little drive like this. It's pretty awesome. So would I buy this bike? I'd probably buy this bike. I'd have to do a lot of modifications. I changed the foot pegs, I changed the seats, but the more I ride this bike, the more I really like it. This is really fun. The other thing I've noticed on a lot of these bikes is if you change the exhaust, even if you do a slip-on, I've seen on some of these bikes where you get a lot of engine vibration, sometimes vibration through the whole bike from changing the exhaust, and sometimes you get a reduction in power too. So you have to really be careful. Like on my Fat Boy, I didn't really change the exhaust at all because I was afraid of the vibrations and losing power. But I know, I'd say probably most people, 99.9% of everyone that buys a Harley Davidson, the first thing they do is change the exhaust. And that can be a good thing or it could be a bad thing, depending on the exhaust that you actually do. So this is a pretty nice, pretty fun bike. One of the funnest. It feels like you just want to do donuts or something. I don't know if you'd want to do wheelies on this thing. It's not really a wheelie bike. It's more of a doing donuts, I guess. It's pretty cool. I like it. It seems very light, very easy to ride. I just feel a little scrunched because of the way it's set up. I think they set them up for like basically all riders. So, you know, short people and tall people can both ride it. I think that's what they're set up for. Oh yeah, that power on this one. You know, the other thing that's interesting too is it almost feels like you almost need to pull it over a little bit more. It's pretty much almost straight up and down on the kickstand, which a lot of them kind of lean over a little bit more on the kickstand. Wow, that bike is pretty awesome. All right, so red line red with industrial yellow, $17,124. $16,599 in black. Pretty awesome. Well, there you have it. That is the 2023 Street Bob. Take a look at that. I love that on the gas tank. That is awesome. Wow. This is the first time really seeing that gas tank up close. That's pretty awesome. All right, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.